Yes, again, guys, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright. Well, last left off, we got more time by spouting bullshit that actually helped. Anyway, already load save. March 23, 2:35 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Court will now reconvened. I assume both sides are ready. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Eggypoo? It's because everyone keeps calling me It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Eggypoo?
Looks like something unexpected just happened to him.
Now then, Mr. Eggypoo, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Mrs. Impact suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Mr. Eggypoo? This note was not written by Mrs. Impact herself. It is a fake. Order! Mr. Eggypoo, would you care to explain what is going on? If this is not written by Mrs. Impact, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis, however. It appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. Mr. Corrida?
Well. It looks like Miss Impact never left the suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Engard.
However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Engard could have not known that, and so the fact remains unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that Engard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. I'm not smart enough for this. Back down. I'll receive a penalty if I say it's no use. Something feels wrong, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Actually, there is something I would like to ask. Mr. Eggypoo, you had stated something earlier to the effect of the defendant had spied on Mr. Corda's private life. I believe this would mean that he would have known about the note as well. That's it! Yes, and so naturally, this means Mr. Engard would have known that the note was a fake. Alright, yeah, I'm stupid. Order! See here, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? I was the one who thought of spying thing. Jumping in and stealing my thunder like that is simply... I can't even describe it. Yes, sorry. I could have even bragged about embarrassing... Oh, shit, I picked the wrong one. Anyway, I can take it. I could have even bragged about embarrassing Mr. Eggypoo to my grandchild, and had you not. For that, I assign you a penalty, Mr. Wright. Just because I took his thunder? That's not legal! What? If only I kept my mouth shut. So then, the defendant knew this suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Engard's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as Mr. Engard monitored Mr. Corrida 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Engard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Eggypoo. Why didn't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Order, Mr. Eggypoo. It looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave.
As I figured.
Huh? As you figured?
As I figured, it came down to this after all.
Mr. Eggypoo, you're not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Engard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Eggypoo stuttering? Does not like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Eggypoo? This witness is one of who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelley Digula to commit murder? That's impossible! Who in the... No such person exists! Who can answer that question with such certainty? Yes, Mr. Eggypoo. Who is this witness? It's... Yes, go on. Who is it? The man himself. Mr. Shillidigula. Oh, Mr. Shillidigula. Wait, Shillidigula? You mean the killer? I mean the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here? To the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes. Is this alright with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is alright to do this. You're a judge, you should know. Well, this is very unusual. Very well then, the prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Eggypoo, is there no other way left for us? To us? Now then, witness. Your name and your, occupation, please. Very good, sir. My name is Shillidigula. I am a professional assassin. I say! What is going on here? Your Honor? How can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. Digula will testify to this court. So this must be what urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh, no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Digula himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shillidigula. I'm not gonna do, like, what you call it, an effect on this, because he's gonna talk a lot. And I just noticed something. Hang on. There we go. I understand. Please wait a second. Oops.
I'm so hungry.
Maya! A voice, Mr. Wright. Can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shillidigula. It looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness. There is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corda. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corda. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream. Shillidigula. What is he going to say? Witness testimony. Here we go, boys. There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on his witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. Digula seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. Digula is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor.
There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collect, Phoenix.
But he just made a statement. What? There's something I must first state. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your clients? I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? Sorry, go on. Well, it appears that this one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright. That's only because you don't know about my situation. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between the client and himself. The trust between you and your client? I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew about my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you're testifying in this manner? This is the first time one of my clients have ever been accused of murder. I must preserve their beloved name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did, yes, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough! Please, no more! Very well, it was only a hypothetical question. And that is the reason I'm here today on this witness stand. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and has acted outside their prescribed role. Their role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. It is my wish that you graph the concept before I give the name of a client. Yeah, got it. We understand, so please tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do. That egomaniacal? What? It's not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you. Somehow, that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all this extra fluff. Just tell us the name already.
Patience, try to calm down a little. It is important to try and understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and close, so you're going to have to work to get him to talk.
I'm not his therapist, you know? Okay. What can I present? To an assassin, nothing is more important than his trust between his client and himself, and here's the reason I'm here today is this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp the concept before I give the name of my client. Okay, do I represent anything? This one? Or do I say Madden Guard? Okay, this one is tricky. I don't know what to do here. Oh, right. Backtrack. Because he did say that the client did break his trust, so press on that again. The trust in you, yeah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is a worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. If one understands your point, I think, really. In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. Don't you agree? I don't really care. Da-na-na. Press. What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, right, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness. What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida? That person's name is Adrian Andrew. What?
Witness?
That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it's Adrian Andrews. What the fuck? What the fuck? You told me it shifted to her? Oh wait, that's new.
What? This can't be. On the phone earlier.
What's going on here?
My guess is that Mr. Tequila just stabbed Mr. Eggypoo in the back.
That Eggypoo in the back?
I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. Tequila told him a different name. Matt Engard, perhaps?
I knew it.
This is outrageous.
I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie. But you're the one who summoned this witness.
You
Jelly Tequila. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt Engard. Am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal.
Wow. All of a sudden it feels like we can actually win this.
Yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided the suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. Tequila. His client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt Engard is innocent. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately.
What now? With the way this is going, Engard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya.
Yeah, but Eggypoo is right. Tequila is lying. And Engard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? Who would believe that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shirley Tequila is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. That testimony just now, it was all one big lie.
Miss Andrews,
the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died, and Juan's dead. It was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie.
But Mr. Tequila himself has testified. He has named you as his client.
No, that's not true.
Also, there is quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button donning the nickel samurai costume.
But that's...
You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impacts was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reason to want them both dead.
No. Mr. Wright! You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please. Help me.
Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinion. I have to decide. Do I take not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? Request the trial continue? I mean, that's what we're trying to go for, aren't we? So that's what we're picking.
Phoenix!
I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept I'm not guilty.
You are a lawyer.
I know. What? Never mind. I'll cut it up. But Matt Engard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than Engard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it's because of Mr. Eggypoo that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten Engard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him?
Yes, you do.
Mr. Wright, your opinion, please.
The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. Tequila.
Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done.
I am not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There is still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur.
Very well, that trial will continue. Mr. Eggypoo, please re-establish connection with Mr. Tequila.
Right away, Your Honor. Has the verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more.
About?
All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else would you need me for?
Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done.
What is he talking about? Usually done?
But what should we have him testify about now?
Mr. Tequila, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people are in your procedures. Is there any wonder no one likes to go to court?
Alright, so we're gonna find the holes in what we know. What he says and what we know.
As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Cordia was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules.
This is the most unexpected turn of events for the, 5th time now? However, this time, everything has finally been revealed.
Objection!
Just a second, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Eggypoo?
We still have the cross-examination to do.
But you don't need to question testimony like that. Do you, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. As if I have a choice here.
Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then
I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose.
I don't understand what's going on anymore.
That makes two of us.
Alright, let's see here if I can do it without help.
It has been 2 months.
Press. I just press everything.
What is it, Mr. Wright? If I press him the wrong way, I might raise suspicion on his end. But if I have to do something to waste more time, I'm witness. How about requesting a hint?
Yes?
How much is your fee? I see you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney.
Huh?
If you would like to talk business, you can do so after the trial.
No. I'm not thinking about Mr. Wright.
Yes?
You want to kill me. You want me dead, don't you?
What? Why would you think something like that?
Guilty, Mr. Freeze. You are about to declare guilty.
Witness, let's continue.
Why did you disclose the name of your client? They're your client. Oh, that was funny.
Oh, that was fun. That's funny.
One thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. Press. I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. Ah, yeah, well, a change in occupation might be good for you. However, I will say this. Even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party. That goes without saying, Mr. Dicula. And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought that they could run away from their guilt. Are you talking about the button and the knife? Yes, and my business card. What? She said she found that one. Oh yeah, because that's right. He left that card there and Adrian just took it. And bears the victim's blood and guards fingerprints in the grip. Gate water is engraved. It must rip off for the customer as covering card is blood found in guard's kama. Oh, this card? So that no one has to waste their time, including the police. I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. You try to make things easy? My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work. But to disregard everything and go and stab the deceased with a knife. And even hide my card from sight. That is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. So you're saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing? That is correct. Usually, most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too. No, I already told you I have no intention of using your services, ever! Why does he keep looking at me like I'm the one on trial here? Adrian Adjus already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. From the very beginning? That is correct. From before my client visited the room. All my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. What even more appalling is the creation of planting of the knife and button. So why do you think your client did that? What do you mean by why? Well, fiddling around at the scene of the crime is pretty risky. And why would someone who has requested a murder go to the crime scene anyway? That is true. I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. Engard. If that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it? Sadly, that is not possible. Huh? My job is to kill. That is all. And to leave my business card behind, naturally. The business card is so my client may escape blame. To protect them is my duty. Even if they say it's for revenge, setting someone else up to take your fall. That is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. Is that all you have to testify? Yes, and I pray that I will never be called to the stand again. Again? As in you plan to continue? I must, as I have yet to find a person to take my place and become the fourth successor. Actually, how would you like a new life, Mr. Attorney? Excuse me? No, I'm fine, really. Are you really now? I wonder what kind of man the judge thinks I am now.
What are you going to do now, Phoenix?
I can do now expose the lies.
That's true, however, you realize that this is very bad for a client, right?
I'm so confused. But the one thing I know for sure is that I can't let this trial end yet. Okay, so there was one statement. This statement. There was something wrong with that one. Didn't Adrian Adjus talk to him before? Juan Corrida, Love, Super Hot Mega Stem, Adrian Andrews. Oh, yeah. This is what I get for not remembering because I've been so long. She did that drink thing. Yeah, this one. So Adrian Andrews didn't know he was dead from the very beginning. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. Digilla. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corda was been murdered. How? How do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. The glass? Mr. Tequila, suppose client thought Mr. Corda had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had that been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind. I see your point. Mr. Eggypoo, what is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? He can't see you do that, Phoenix. Eggypoo. I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have the knowledge of Mr. Corda's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. That's fine. How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix. If the Gilla figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Objection! Mr. Eggypoo, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I am positive there's a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now, I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the Gila left behind to get here, I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. Alright, another witness testimony, taking requests, but I have to be till next time. I didn't realize it was 30 minutes. I'm actually enjoying it. Anyway, see you next time. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.